What's up, my pilots? Vloggy Poncho here. Today's February 25th, 2024. Why are the last few days dates have been tongue twisters? Anyway, how tracker's looking a little better today. I'll go ahead and check off Vloggy Poncho here. Not terrible, not terrible. We'll get that one too. So we'll probably get up to 60 some by the end of the evening tonight. So yesterday, I put up this 2 truths and a lie. If you haven't seen yesterday's video and the longer version of these stories, go back, watch that one, and leave a comment and guess which one of these 3 you think is the lie. Alright, now that you're back. The lie, and 3 out of 5 of you at the time of writing this video were right, was number 2. I did actually have a doctor remove an ingrown toenail without proper anesthetization. It was a GP, and it fucking sucked. He didn't even do it right, so the nail grew back again, and it was horrendous. I actually had to get that toe and the big toe on the other foot done by a proper orthopedic surgeon? No, just a podiatrist, I think. But they did it correctly, and that time just getting the shot hurt, but no more than usual. But then I was numb afterwards, and I had things wrapped up, so I wore big socks for a while instead of shoes, while my feet swelling went down. And then honestly, it was just after it healed, it was so much better because I had the worst ingrown toes. I have abnormally wide toenails, or I did, and they took off a couple mils, maybe 3 mils on one side and 6 mils on the other. It was a huge amount of toenail got shrunk down. Anyway, that one's true. Number 3 is also true. I was an idiot. I packed way too much stuff. I didn't hydrate enough, and I almost got really, really sick because of it. After drinking all that extra water, I did feel better. We did end up leaving early the next day, and we ended up waiting by the car for 6 hours, and it's a true story. Highly recommend you don't ever get dehydration sickness. It really sucks. And yeah, don't go hiking in jeans either. That was that same trip. That story also is related to the Nutter Butter story, which you may have heard before. But basically, the other scout that I was with was really trying to get me to eat something because I had so much terrible nausea from all the vomiting, and the only thing that we had that I could stomach down in tiny amounts was these Nutter Butters, which is peanut butter cracker things, and yeah, I couldn't look at those fucking things for years afterwards. I had such a bad association with them. So, story number 2 was a lie, but it's somewhat near the truth. Something similar happened to my brother. I've never actually broken a bone. At least not that I'm aware of. I may have broken my toe once. I accidentally kicked a rock that was buried in sand under the water at the beach. And it got red and purple, but I don't know if I actually broke the bone or if it was just a bad bruise. When you break one of your toes, it's you can't really do much for it anyway besides wear shoes and try not to walk on it too hard. Anyway, so the story is slightly edited. Funny thing is, my brother broke his arm 3 times. He broke one arm and then the other and then the first arm again. None of them were from skateboarding. He did so much skateboarding, dropping into half pipes and all that shit. And he never broke a bone from that. But he broke a bone. He broke his wrist in exactly the way I described, falling backwards onto one arm. Except it was with his Heelys. Those shoes that have wheels in the heels. So I just edited that story and made it a skateboard and about me. He actually did break his wrist falling backwards on Heelys. I believe the other 2 times were falling off of the jungle gym, the monkey bars. He just fell and caught himself wrong. And then the 3rd time he got knocked down in gym class and wasn't expecting it and fell wrong and broke his other arm. But yeah, I've never actually had a cast. So I never got to have that experience. So yeah, congratulations to Cardigan, Crossbow, and Chipster who were correct. And I liked your analysis, Classic. I did enjoy the... Would you be allowed to carry so much extra shit? Or would the trooper be like, the fuck are you doing, Scouty? What? Scouty? Okay. Anyway, I want to show you guys a new thing I found. This is a kind of a Wordle type game called Betweenle, and it's you get 14 guesses and you get more points earlier on. So you can see up here in the you get 5 points if you get it in the first 5 guesses, and then 4 if you get it in the next 3, and so on, up to a max of 1 point if you get it on the 14th guess. And the way it works is you can put in any 5-letter word, and it will take that word and either move it to the top or the bottom. And then you kind of indicates to you whether the correct answer comes before or after what you guessed in the alphabet. And then, of course, once you've got, alphabetically, once you've got a guess above and below, you're trying to find a word that's in between null. So let's give it a shot. So this is kind of an exercise in binary search, because if you know about, if there's different algorithms for searching for something in a list that's in order. And if the list is sorted, the fastest simple way to find an element that you want is to do what's called a binary search, which is where you take the whole list of options and you look at the middle option. And then you say, is the thing I want before or after this? And then depending on which one it is, you throw out the half that you know is wrong, and then you repeat the process on a smaller half. And you end up only having to do a number of operations that's on the order of the logarithm of the size. So it's way smaller than going in order until you get to it, which would be linear. So, strategy for in-betweenle is try to guess a word that's as close to the middle of what's left as you can. Unless, and you'll see this in a moment, we get an indication that our word is much closer to one side than the other. There we have it. So in this case, this little bar on the left is telling us, here's our word in orange, or rather the correct answer in orange. And then here's our bottom word, which is now maple. And the top word is just the beginning of the alphabet still, because we've only had one guess. And what this is telling us is that the correct answer has 3.3% of the dictionary before it, and 48% of the dictionary between it and maple. So we don't actually want to go right in the middle here. We want to guess something that's pretty near the beginning, because this is telling us that it's in this range and it's much closer to the top. So let's go with a word that starts with B. Beast. Now we're much closer. So apparently 7% of the alphabet, or of 5-letter words, start with A and B, because that's what this is telling us here. Now we're somewhere in the middle. So B, E, that's probably relatively early, maybe like a fourth of the way through the B's. So let's try and think of a word that starts with A and ends with a letter, or has a second letter that's further on, like apple. Ooh, okay, it's very close to apple. And it's, yeah, that's 0.63 of 1%. So it's very close to apple. But it's still before it, so we go, and you can see it's filling in down here what, I'm gesturing like you can see my hand. It's filling in down here what letters are possible at this position. So it's like first letter must be A. Second letter is something between A and P. And, and then if I go on from here, it's going to keep telling me APP, something between A and L, etc. So let's see here. Let's go ample. We'll go A-M-P-L-E. Oh, we've got it narrowed down to a tiny range now. So we must start with A, and then the second letter is between M and O-P. Okay, I don't think we're going to have an N here. Let's see, element. So it could be an N, but it would have to be N and then something that goes to like the top of the alphabet, I would think, like anal. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're right in the middle here. So that's kind of tough, actually. So it's either an M or an N. So it's an M and then a letter late in the alphabet, or an N and then a letter early in the alphabet. So where do we go from here? What other words fit into this space? Angle? Ooh, it's really close to angle. Let's try angel. right? That's valid, isn't it? E. Hey, we got there. And we got there in only 7 guesses. 7 out of 14 used. So that's 4 points. So you can see how the game works. You can do daily ones every day. And I don't know if I will, but if you go back to the menu here, there's like, I guess you can just do practice on random words. So, you know, give it a shot, give it a try, see how you feel about it. But that's where I got to. 7 out of oh, why did it add another guess? Did it add another guess from me loading the page? I don't know. It said it's 8 out of 14. Anyway, we got 4 out of 5 points, so I think that's probably the goal, is to get it in 4 points or better. With the size of the dictionary, it's going to be pretty hard to narrow it down just in 5 guesses. But I think something like 8, probably pretty likely you can do it. All right, for the image today, I have a funny green text from old 4chan. I used to save these a lot. This is from 2014. At the doctor's, getting my nuggets felt up because I had a pain. Female doctor. Turns out fine, just epididymitis. For some reason, whenever I go to the docs, I always feel I have to look smart, throwing off medical jargon and referencing obscure bits of anatomy. Shit, I must look hella book learned. She says, oh, I suppose you were worried and did some of your own research. Realize that if I admit to that, I'm simultaneously admitting to being a little bitch, and that all my knowledge was ad hoc and Wikipedia acquired. Say, no, I just know a lot about balls. Can't remember what happened after that because my soul evacuated my body. This is like top 20 green text. My favorite one is still the soccer goal, which maybe I'll show that one tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Let me know what you think about Betweenle. How does it compare to other daily word games? Do you like it? Do you think it's dumb? Leave me a comment. See you tomorrow.